The golden light of late afternoon filtered through the salon's tall windows, bouncing off the crystal chandeliers and landing on the polished marble floor. The place smelled of roses and mint shampoo, a quiet hum of hair dryers in the background blending with the soft jazz music. But in the center of it all, sitting stiffly in the oversized chair, Maria felt none of the glamour that surrounded her. Her heart pounded, her breath short, her frail hands trembling in her lap. The scissors whispered near her ear, snip, snip, each sound like a dagger piercing through her soul. She shut her eyes tightly, praying this was all a mistake, praying someone would stop this madness before it was too late. "Anna," Maria pleaded, her voice barely holding itself together. "You must listen to me. Please, this isn't just about hair. You don't know what you're taking from me." But Anna, her son's girlfriend, didn't even pause. She had a smile on her lips, confident and almost defiant, as if she were proving something with every precise cut. "Maria," Anna said, her tone calm, "you're overthinking. It's just hair. You look younger, fresher, like the mother of a millionaire should look." She brushed another lock from Maria's shoulder and let it fall, lifeless, to the floor. "Trust me, everyone will say it suits you." Maria's chest ached. Her eyes brimmed with tears she refused to let fall, because deep down, she knew the truth, Anna didn't care how she looked. This wasn't about beauty, it was about control. The memories came rushing back. Years ago, Maria had worked night shifts at a textile factory, her hair always tied up in a neat bun. She saved every penny, endured every insult from supervisors, and stitched dreams into every seam. When she finally saved enough to send her only son, Daniel, to a better school, she swore her sacrifices would one day build him a life she never had. And it did. Daniel grew into a man sharper than the world expected. His business sense, paired with Maria's endless encouragement, turned into an empire. He became one of the youngest millionaires in the city, his name whispered in boardrooms and admired in headlines. Maria's pride was boundless, but she never let success strip her of her simple roots. Her hair, long and carefully maintained, became a symbol of that journey, her struggles, her resilience, and her identity as the woman who never gave up. Now, strand by strand, that identity was being taken away. "Anna, please," Maria said again, her voice cracking like old porcelain. "I promised myself, this hair would only be cut when I'm ready to leave this world." Anna's hand froze for just a moment, but then she laughed softly. "You're being dramatic. Daniel wants you to look modern, not like someone stuck in the past. Don't you want him to be proud?" Maria's lips trembled. Proud. Her son had always told her she was his strength, his anchor, the reason he never forgot where he came from. Why would he want this? Unless Anna was twisting his words, convincing him otherwise. Maria realized then how deep Anna's influence had already sunk its claws. The scissors moved again. Another lock fell. Maria felt weaker, as though her strength was leaving her body with every strand. A tear slipped down her cheek, and she whispered so quietly it was almost lost under the buzz of clippers, "Daniel, where are you, my son?" Across town, Daniel was finishing a business meeting in his towering glass office when his phone buzzed. He ignored it at first, another notification, another trivial thing, but when he saw the caller ID, his chest tightened. It was the manager of the salon. "Sir," the manager's nervous voice spilled through the line, I don't know if I should be calling you, but your mother, she seems very distressed. Your girlfriend insisted on a full makeover for her, but your mother is crying. She's begging." Daniel's heart stopped. He pushed back his leather chair, his mind flashing with images of his mother's smile, her gentle voice telling him bedtime stories, her hands roughened by years of work. The thought of her sitting helpless, begging someone to stop, tore at him like nothing else. "I'm on my way," he said, his voice sharp with urgency. Back at the salon, Maria's breathing grew unsteady. Her fragile shoulders trembled under the weight of defeat. Anna hummed a tune as if nothing were wrong, as if this were some casual afternoon activity. She lifted a final section of Maria's long, silver-streaked hair and twirled it around her fingers, raising the scissors. "Stop," Maria finally shouted, her voice echoing off the marble walls. Heads turned, other customers whispered, but Anna only tightened her grip. "It's for the best," Anna murmured. "You'll thank me later." Maria squeezed her eyes shut. She had fought battles her whole life, but here, in this polished prison, she felt utterly powerless. Her son's fortune couldn't protect her from this humiliation, not if he wasn't here to see it. And just as Anna lifted the scissors for another decisive snip, the glass doors of the salon burst open. Daniel stormed inside, his face pale, his breath ragged from running. The room went silent, every stylist and customer staring as the millionaire himself strode past them, his eyes locked on the sight before him, his mother, weeping in a chair, and his girlfriend standing behind her with scissors poised like a weapon. Anna, Daniel's voice thundered, raw and furious. The scissors slipped from Anna's fingers, clattering onto the floor. The sharp sound rang through the silence. Maria's eyes snapped open, disbelief and relief flooding her face as she saw her son standing there. Daniel rushed forward, dropping to his knees in front of his mother, taking her trembling hands into his. "Mama, I'm here. What did she do to you?" Maria couldn't hold back anymore. The tears flowed freely as she whispered. She wouldn't stop. "Daniel, I begged her, she wouldn't listen." Daniel's chest heaved, his fists clenching as he turned to Anna, his gaze burning with betrayal. For the first time in his life, the man who built empires felt the ground shake beneath him, not because of markets or business rivals, but because the woman he trusted with his heart had dared to strip his mother of her dignity. And the truth was only beginning to unravel. The salon was silent, so quiet you could almost hear the hearts beating inside the stunned onlookers. Daniel's jaw tightened as he stood, his towering figure casting a shadow over Anna. His eyes, usually calm and calculating in business meetings, now burned with a fire Anna had never seen before. "What," he demanded, his voice low and trembling with suppressed rage, "were you doing to my mother?" Anna stammered, her confident smirk gone, her cheeks flushed. "Daniel, I just wanted her to look better, more refined. She's your mother, the mother of a millionaire. She deserves. Daniel cut her off, his voice sharp like a blade. "She deserves respect. She deserves to be heard when she says no. She deserves to keep what's precious to her." He gestured to the strands of hair scattered across the floor like broken memories. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Maria squeezed her son's hand, whispering softly, "Don't be angry, Daniel. I tried to stop her. I told her this hair was all I had left of myself." Her words hit Daniel like a hammer. He turned, looking at his mother's half-cut hair, uneven and incomplete, the long silver locks gone forever. For a moment, his chest ached. With guilt, how had he let it come to this? How had he not seen the danger in Anna's controlling ways? Anna took a step forward, desperation replacing arrogance. "Daniel, you're overreacting. It's just hair. Don't let something so small ruin what we have." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Small? My mother is everything to me. Every sacrifice she made, every night she went hungry so I could eat, every stitch she sewed in those factories so I could have an education, all of it made me who I am. And you dared to humiliate her, strip her of her dignity, in front of strangers." The entire salon watched, breaths held, as Daniel's voice rose, raw with emotion. Anna swallowed hard. "I was only trying to help her fit into your world. People talk, Daniel. They say she looks old-fashioned, that she doesn't represent." "Enough," Daniel thundered, his voice echoing against the walls. "She doesn't need to fit into their world. This world exists because of her. If anyone doesn't fit, Anna, it's you." Anna's lips trembled. She had seen Daniel furious before, at competitors, at dishonest partners, but never like this. Not with such personal pain behind his words. She reached out to touch his arm, but he stepped back, shielding his mother from her. "You care more about appearances than people," Daniel said, his voice quieter now, but laced with finality. "You think wealth is about image, about controlling others to look the way you want. But true wealth, Anna, is respect, kindness, love." His words hung in the air, heavy and unshakable. Maria's tears had slowed, but her face was pale with exhaustion. She tugged gently at Daniel's sleeve. "Son, please, don't fight because of me. I just wanted peace. That's all I've ever wanted." Daniel knelt beside her again, his voice softening as he pressed her hand to his heart. "Mama, you'll always have peace with me. I promise you, no one will ever hurt you like this again." Anna's eyes widened. "What are you saying? You can't possibly mean." Daniel stood tall, his decision written in the lines of his face. "It's over, Anna. Whatever I thought we had, it ends today. I won't allow anyone in my life who disrespects the woman who gave me mine." The scissors still lay on the marble floor between them, glinting under the chandelier's light like a symbol of betrayal. Anna's face hardened, her pride rising for one last attempt. "You'll regret this, Daniel. Do you really think you can run your empire without me?" I've stood beside you in meetings, I've guided you. Daniel shook his head slowly. You stood beside me because I allowed it, not because I needed it. The truth is, I was blind. I thought love meant compromise, but it doesn't mean sacrificing the people who matter most. Goodbye, Anna. Gasps rippled through the salon. Anna's face turned pale, her lips parted, but no words came. For the first time, she had lost, not to business rivals, not to society's whispers, but to the simple, unbreakable bond between a mother and her son. With trembling hands, Maria tried to stand. Daniel quickly supported her, helping her rise from the chair. As they walked toward the exit, the salon staff and customers, who had been silent witnesses to the storm, began to clap softly, not for the drama, but for the courage, the love, the dignity restored. Maria looked around, bewildered by the applause, then up at her son. Daniel, you didn't have to do this for me. Yes, I did, Daniel said firmly, his arm around her shoulders. I owe you everything, Mama. You've given me more than any fortune could buy. From now on, no one comes before you. They stepped outside, the late afternoon sun warm on their faces. The city moved as it always did, cars honking, people rushing, but for Daniel, time had slowed. He could see the fragility in his mother's frame, but also the strength in her spirit. Mama, he said gently, I'll find the best stylist to fix this, but only if you want it. No pressure, no demands. Only what makes you comfortable. Maria smiled through her tears, touching his cheek with her wrinkled hand. All I need is you, my son. Hair grows back, but respect. Once it's gone, it never returns. Today, you gave me back more than you know. Daniel hugged her tightly, the world watching as a millionaire knelt not before power, not before wealth, but before the woman who raised him. That night, in the quiet of their family home, Maria sat by the window with a scarf around her head, sipping tea. Daniel joined her, laying his head in her lap like he used to as a boy. You know, Mama, he said softly, people can take money, they can take fame, they can take everything, but they can't take the love between us. Maria stroked his hair gently, her heart full. And as long as you remember that, Daniel, you'll never lose yourself. Somewhere across the city, Anna packed her bags, her reflection in the mirror cold and unrecognizable. She had tried to shape her life around control, around appearances, and in doing so, she had lost the one man who valued what truly mattered. Daniel, meanwhile, looked at his mother with quiet determination. He knew the world would keep testing him, with temptation, with betrayal, with challenges, but he also knew that as long as he kept his mother's lessons close, no test would ever break him. For Maria, though the strands of her hair were gone, her dignity had been restored, not by the scissors, but by her son's unwavering love. And that was a crown no one could ever cut away.